You ever get that feeling that you're meant for something more than the usual 9 to 5? Well, today we are going to unpack a really practical blueprint for making that leap from employee to entrepreneur. We're going to explore the mindset shifts, the skills you actually need, and the systems that can help you build a real fortune, right from where you are now.
So let me ask you, does this feel familiar? You're putting in the hours, you're doing everything you're supposed to do, but at the end of the day, it just feels like you're on a hamster wheel. You're making a living, which is great, but are you really building wealth? Let's talk about the idea that there's a totally different path available. I love this quote from the legendary Jim Rohn. It just perfectly nails the core of what we're talking about. And listen, this isn't some crazy quit your job tomorrow fantasy. It's about a fundamental, powerful shift in your thinking, from only earning wages to also generating profits. Okay, here's our roadmap for today. We're going to start with the big idea. Then we'll get into the mindset you need, the skills to back it up, the engine that makes it all grow, and finally, what that future you're building really looks like. Let's get into it.
All right, let's kick things off with Section 1, a different path. This is ground zero. It all starts with a simple, but honestly profound shift in how you think about your time and your money.
So this whole journey starts with what Jim Rohn called the magic of part-time. And the beauty of this is you don't have to take some massive, scary risk. You keep your full-time job that pays the bills, keeps the lights on, and you dedicate a focused 10 to 15 hours a week on the side to building your fortune.
Now this right here, this is your first major milestone. And I want you to just stop and think about this for a second. Imagine the day you get to a place where the income from your part-time venture matches your full-time salary. I mean, that's not just a financial win, right? That's an incredibly powerful story. That's proof that this whole thing actually works.
But, hitting a milestone like that isn't just about strategy. It's about what's going on up here, in your head. And that brings us right to Section 2, the mindset shift. Because before you can act like an entrepreneur, you have to start thinking like one.
Network marketing pro Eric Worre puts it perfectly. He says your own thinking literally creates a ceiling for your income. It's like a self-imposed salary cap. If you want to shatter that ceiling, you have to fundamentally change your mindset. This is the foundation everything else is built on.
Just check out the difference here. It's night and day, isn't it? Employee thinking sees work as a chore and is always asking, where's my support? An entrepreneur, though, sees work as their purpose and says, you know what? I'll create the support. They totally get the trade-off. I'm willing to be underpaid for a little while so I can be way overpaid for a long, long time.
What it all comes down to is this. You can't wait for someone else to paint your future for you. Think of it like a blank canvas. You have the tools, you have the paint. But it is 100% up to you to create the masterpiece. And that's both a huge responsibility and an incredible opportunity.
Okay, so with our mindset dialed in, let's get practical. Section 3 is all about mastering the core skills. This is the actual toolkit you're going to use to turn your vision into real, tangible results. Eric Worre makes such a critical point here. So many of us wait to feel confident before we take action. But that's completely backwards. True, rock-solid confidence, it doesn't come from hype or just trying to pump yourself up. It's a quiet byproduct of competence. You build it by actually getting good at the skills.
And here they are. These are the fundamental building blocks. It starts with finding prospects. You got to have people to talk to, right? Then inviting them to take a look, presenting what you have, and then the all-important following up. From there, it's about helping people make a decision, which is closing, and then getting them started the right way. And here's the best part. None of this is some God-given talent. Every single one of these is a skill, which means it can be learned.
And this number right here, this is the goal. If you rate yourself 1 to 10 on each of those 7 skills, your target score is a 49. That's just an average of 7 out of 10 across the board. You don't have to be perfect. You don't need to be a 10. You just need to become a professional. Getting to a 7 or higher, that's the roadmap to really significant career-level results.
So, you've got the mindset, you're building the skills, now it's time to fire up the engine of your business. And that engine is fueled by one incredibly powerful concept: duplication.
This is such a critical distinction to make. Look, you can sell a product all by yourself, and that's fine. But the real leverage, the secret to massive, explosive growth, is building a network of people who are also out there selling. It shifts the focus from what you can do alone to what an entire community can do together. Duplication is the secret sauce.
It's all about creating a system that is so simple it can be easily taught and then repeated by absolutely anyone on your team. You're not just recruiting, you're teaching people how to become successful leaders in their own right.
And this table, this is where the magic really happens. Just look at the math. If you teach 2 people, who each go out and teach 2, your network grows to 16 people. That's pretty good. But look what happens when you just teach 3 more people. You teach 5, who each teach 5, and suddenly that same process creates a network of 625. It's not addition, it's multiplication. That little bit of extra effort up front creates absolutely explosive growth down the line.
So, after all this work, the mindset, the skills, the duplication engine running, where does this whole journey lead? Let's zoom out and take a look at the final destination, the big picture goal.
First things first, let's be crystal clear. This is not a lottery ticket. This is not some push-a-button passive income scheme. This is built income. It takes consistent, focused work over the long haul. There's no hype, no shortcuts, just a commitment to the process.
But if you're willing to do that, just look at the potential payoff. To generate, say, $5,000 a month from traditional savings, you'd need something like $3 million in the bank. I mean, for most people, that's just a fantasy. But with this model, 2 to 5 years of consistent part-time effort can build a network that generates that same level of residual income. It basically makes the impossible possible.
And honestly, the goal here is so much bigger than just a paycheck. It's about building a different kind of life. One with residual income, for sure, but also one with lifestyle flexibility, personal growth as a leader, and being part of a community that is genuinely rooting for you to succeed.
So we'll leave you with this final thought. As you go down this path, yes, your bank account will change, but something way more profound happens. You change. The process of developing the mindset, the skills, the leadership, that process transforms you. So it really makes you wonder, what's the real product here? The thing you sell or the person you become along the way?